The saga of the MV Joyita begins on the fateful day of November 10, 1955, when the vessel embarked from Apia, Samoa, bound for the remote islands of Tokelau. This 70-foot wooden ship, primarily designed for inter-island transportation, served as a vital link for both cargo and passengers who depended on its services. Commanded by Captain W. Bill Th. N. Lawrence, the Joyita carried a crew of 5 and 16 eager passengers, all ready for their journey across the vast and unpredictable South Pacific. The ship was well stocked with essentials, yet unbeknownst to those aboard, this voyage would soon spiral into one of the most enduring maritime mysteries in history. As the Joyita navigated through the open waters, it was scheduled to reach its destination the following day, November 11. However, the unpredictable weather patterns of the Pacific soon disrupted their journey. By November 12, an urgent distress signal was detected by the Coast Guard, triggering a large-scale search operation for the missing vessel. Authorities recognized the inherent dangers of the open ocean and quickly mobilized resources, deploying aircraft and ships to comb the vast expanse of water in search of the Joyita and its occupants, driven by an urgent need to locate the ship and ensure the safety of those on board. Days passed, and by November 18, after nearly a week of relentless searching, the Joyita was finally located drifting approximately 600 miles from its intended course. The New Zealand vessel, Tuvalu, was the first to spot the abandoned ship, revealing a haunting scene that raised immediate alarm among the searchers. The Joyita appeared deserted, with no sign of its passengers or crew. Strikingly, the engine was still running, the radio was operational, and personal belongings, including wallets, clothing, and even a loaded firearm, were left behind in the cabin. This unsettling tableau ignited a flurry of questions about what could have possibly transpired on board, leaving investigators grappling with the mystery of the ship's disappearance. Investigators delved into the timeline of events leading up to the ship's mysterious disappearance. Witness accounts and maritime records indicated that the Joyita had been experiencing mechanical issues shortly after departing from Samoa. Reports surfaced detailing engine troubles that forced the crew to navigate under increasingly difficult conditions. Despite these challenges, there was no evidence suggesting that the crew had issued a distress call or encountered a situation dire enough to warrant abandoning ship. This discrepancy raised profound questions about the circumstances surrounding their vanishing, compelling investigators to consider various scenarios that could explain the ship's fate. The investigation shifted focus to the ship's condition upon its discovery. It became evident that the Joyita had sustained substantial damage, particularly to its hull, which had been punctured. This led to intense speculation that the vessel had either encountered a ferocious weather event or possibly collided with an underwater obstacle. However, despite thorough searches, no records existed to confirm any such incidents that would elucidate the sudden abandonment of the vessel. The stark juxtaposition of a seaworthy ship found adrift yet operational deepened the intrigue surrounding its fate, with each piece of evidence raising more questions than answers. In the wake of the discovery, a deeper analysis of the ship's logs and the crew's backgrounds commenced. Captain W. Lawrence, known for his extensive maritime experience, had garnered a reputation for his seamanship. Yet, conflicting reports began to emerge, suggesting that Lawrence had been under immense pressure due to the ship's mechanical problems. Some documents indicated he had been in communication with local authorities regarding these issues, leading to further scrutiny over whether the crew had acted recklessly or if they had been ensnared in a situation beyond their control. This aspect of the investigation highlighted the complexities of maritime navigation and the pressures faced by captains in challenging conditions. Adding layers to the mystery, interviews with the families of the crew and passengers revealed a complex web of emotions. While some relatives clung to the hope that their loved ones had survived and were lost at sea, others faced the grim reality of potential tragedy. Claims of prior sightings of the missing passengers on distant islands surfaced, suggesting that they may have been rescued and opted for a new life. However, these accounts remained unverified, leaving a trail of speculation and uncertainty in their wake. The emotional toll on the families, compounded by the lack of closure, deepened the human aspect of this maritime enigma. As the investigation continued, one of the most perplexing pieces of evidence emerged: a series of distress signals purportedly sent from the Joyita's radio in the days following its disappearance. Although these messages were intercepted by other vessels, their content remained largely indecipherable. Reports indicated that the signals contained fragmented phrases, raising questions about the crew's mental state and the conditions aboard the ship. Were they in a state of panic? Were they truly in danger? Or was the radio malfunctioning? This aspect of the case has become one of the most discussed enigmas surrounding the disappearance of the MV Joyita, further complicating the narrative and inviting speculation about the crew's fate. The case took a controversial turn as conspiracy theories began to circulate. Some postulated that the MV Joyita had been involved in illicit activities, such as smuggling or transporting illegal goods. Despite the allure of these theories, no substantial evidence has ever surfaced to substantiate such claims. Speculation ranged from the vessel being overtaken by pirates to the notion that the crew had deliberately abandoned ship for reasons unknown. While these theories captivated public imagination, they often detracted from the factual investigation at hand, muddying the waters of a case already steeped in mystery. The sensationalism surrounding these theories highlighted the public's fascination with maritime lore and the unknown. As the mystery deepened, the implications of the MV Joyita's disappearance extended beyond maritime safety concerns. The case illuminated significant gaps in search and rescue protocols for vessels operating in the remote regions of the Pacific. The absence of satellite tracking technology during this era compounded the difficulties in locating missing ships, raising critical questions about the safety of seafarers navigating such treacherous waters. The lack of robust communication systems heightened the risks for vessels, prompting many to advocate for urgent reforms in maritime regulations and emergency response protocols. This tragedy served as a catalyst for discussions about improving safety measures and technology in maritime operations. Despite extensive investigations, the unanswered questions surrounding the fate of the MV Joyita continue to linger in the public consciousness. The ship's disappearance has evolved into an unsettling enigma, serving as a haunting reminder of the ocean's unpredictable nature. The juxtaposition of a vessel in distress, operational yet abandoned, provokes ongoing intrigue and speculation. As search efforts waned, the Joyita's narrative transformed from a tale of maritime adventure into a profound mystery, echoing through the annals of maritime history. The haunting legacy of the MV Joyita endures, captivating the minds of historians, maritime enthusiasts, and casual observers alike, all drawn to the unresolved questions that surround its tragic fate. On November 10, 1955, the MV Joyita set sail from Samoa, carrying a mix of cargo and 25 passengers, including doctors, nurses, and a handful of crew members. The ship was scheduled to travel to the island of Tokelau, a remote destination that was critical for providing medical supplies and support to the isolated communities there. The last communication from the Joyita was received on November 3, 1955, indicating that the vessel was running behind schedule due to engine troubles. This message raised concerns about the ship's seaworthiness, but no immediate actions were taken to investigate further. Following the ship's departure, it became increasingly clear that conditions in the Pacific were deteriorating. By November 9, a severe storm was brewing, with winds reaching up to 70 knots and swells exceeding 30 feet. The weather reports indicated dangerous conditions that were likely to affect any vessel caught in the storm. Despite this, the Joyita continued its journey, raising questions about the captain's decision-making and the overall condition of the ship. As days passed without any sight of the Joyita, a search operation was initiated. The New Zealand government, along with local authorities, launched a comprehensive air and sea search on November 12, 1955, expanding to cover an area of over 250,000 square miles. Aircraft scoured the skies, while vessels combed the waters in hopes of finding survivors or debris from the missing ship. By November 20, the search had produced no tangible leads, leading many to speculate about the fate of the Joyita and its passengers. On November 24, 1955, a significant breakthrough occurred when a fishing vessel, the MV Taruna, reported sighting an object adrift in the water 100 nautical miles from where the Joyita was last known to be. This object was later identified as the Joyita itself, but it was found eerily empty and adrift. The discovery prompted an immediate investigation into the circumstances of the ship's abandonment. The ship was discovered with its lifeboats missing, which further fueled speculation about the crew's actions. Notably, the cargo hold was found to be intact, and no significant damage was observed that would suggest a catastrophic event had occurred. The ship's logbook was also missing, raising further questions about the final moments of the voyage. Eyewitness accounts from the Taruna crew suggested that the Joyita appeared to be in operational condition, yet the absence of its crew indicated a sudden and hasty evacuation. In the days following the discovery, investigators began piecing together the timeline of events leading to the Joyita's abandonment. Reports from the captain's wife indicated that he had been concerned about the ship's mechanical issues prior to setting sail. Furthermore, testimonies from other seafarers in the region revealed a history of engine troubles with the Joyita, suggesting that the vessel may have been ill-prepared for the challenging conditions it faced. As the investigation progressed, several theories emerged. Some suggested that the crew had encountered a life-threatening situation, possibly involving a fire or a severe leak, prompting them to abandon ship in a panic. Others speculated that the crew may have encountered hostile forces, although no evidence supported this theory. The lack of clarity surrounding the crew's final actions became a focal point of the investigation. In April 1956, months after the Joyita's disappearance, a maritime inquiry was convened in Wellington, New Zealand. Witnesses, including family members of the missing crew, were called to testify. During the hearings, several experts suggested that the ship may have capsized due to the severe weather conditions, but the absence of any physical evidence made it difficult to draw definitive conclusions. The inquiry concluded that the cause of the disappearance remained unknown, and the official report labeled it as a mystery. In the years that followed, interest in the Joyita's case persisted. In 1960, a group of amateur divers began exploring the waters around the last known location of the Joyita, hoping to find any remnants of the ill-fated vessel. Their search yielded little success, but they did recover items believed to be part of the ship's cargo, including medical supplies. These discoveries reignited discussions about the ship's fate, leading to the formation of online communities dedicated to solving the mystery. Decades later, in 1995, a documentary team retraced the Joyita's last journey, interviewing surviving family members and maritime experts. They uncovered further evidence suggesting that the ship may have been caught in a violent squall that forced the crew to abandon ship. This documentary reignited public interest and led to renewed calls for comprehensive reviews of maritime safety protocols. The discussions emphasized the need for advancements in tracking technology and emergency response capabilities, particularly for vessels operating in remote regions. As recently as 2023, new underwater exploration technologies have allowed researchers to revisit the area where the Joyita was abandoned. Using autonomous underwater vehicles equipped with advanced sonar capabilities, teams have searched the depths for any signs of the ship or its crew. While these efforts have yet to yield definitive answers, they serve as a testament to the enduring mystery of the MV Joyita, a ship that vanished without a trace, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and maritime intrigue. As we reflect on the enigmatic story of the MV Joyita, we are reminded of the profound mysteries that the sea can hold. Despite numerous investigations and the passage of time, the fate of this vessel and its crew remains shrouded in uncertainty. From the early days of search efforts to modern explorations utilizing cutting-edge technology, each attempt has deepened our fascination with this maritime enigma. The evidence suggests a myriad of possibilities, from treacherous weather conditions to mechanical failures, yet none can conclusively explain what transpired on that fateful journey. The Joyita's legacy endures, not only as a cautionary tale of the unpredictable nature of the ocean but also as a symbol of humanity's relentless quest for answers. As we continue to explore the depths of our oceans, let us remember the stories of those who have vanished and the lessons they impart about safety, vigilance, and respect for the forces of nature. If you found this exploration of the MV Joyita compelling, we invite you to engage with us further. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and consider subscribing for more intriguing maritime mysteries and stories that connect us to our past.